Hello. Not to be topical, but it's December. I took the time to look back at the videos I've made up to this point, and I learned that I've actually improved quite a bit. Especially in regards to the voiceovers. Oh my god, did you hear me in some of these?
They don't come up very often in competitive play, but it's always fun to call someone out for swinging.
I also learned that I made some mistakes, and that's what this video is for. Here I'm going to be clarifying some things that I missed or otherwise just didn't do a great job of explaining. I'll also throw in some extra commentary where I find it appropriate. Alright, let's start all the way back at the first one.
In power, it's roughly tied with 4 other counters and only behind Sephiroth.
So, Sephiroth's counter is a bit weird. Every other counter in Smash works by multiplying the damage that the counter just absorbed and sending it back. Sephiroth's counter takes the absorbed damage, interprets it with something called linear interpolation, and then activates Scintilla at whatever strength value it corresponds to. As a result, Sephiroth's counter scales in power more rapidly than other counters, but can only scale damage up to 18% before it stops getting any stronger. This means it'll eventually get beaten out by nearly every other counter, since they tend to have an upper limit around 50%. In tournament settings though, it's very rare to counter a move that does more than 18%, so Sephiroth is usually walking away with the better deal.
If 2 moves' base damage is within 9% of each other, then they cancel out. Any greater, and the stronger one wins.
Okay, the error here is really small. The sweet spot of Mario's forward smash is transcendent, meaning that it's incapable of being cancelled out or of cancelling out other moves. Instead, it'll either trade with other moves or just outrange them, which is what happened to Fox's jab. Everything I said in this part is still true, I just used the wrong move for a visual aid. A better example would be like Incineroar's forward smash.
For a true shot parry, get this interaction within the first few frames of shot put startup, and then be reverse. If done correctly, you'll throw the ball that was just used to tank a projectile at the person who just fired it. I have never seen this done in bracket.
So I still haven't done this in bracket, but I kinda have a clip where I hit it on someone now. I'm just gonna show it as is.
I know there's a guy in Ohio doing it.
Oh!
That's so sad, that's so sad.
And just in case you think that shot put ate this projectile normally, this shaking thing that it did is something that only happens when the shot put either hasn't been thrown yet or hits the ground. I'm so petty that I went into training mode to demonstrate this. Look, dead shot put, shakes. Live shot put, pauses. So yeah, it's real.
Graphing characters by their ratio of fall speed to gravity, something interesting pops up.
I'm gonna be so honest, I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about. I do not know what this chart means at all. I thought I would looking back on it, I don't. I'm saying what it means, I still don't understand myself. If this part doesn't make any sense to you, it doesn't make any sense to me either. What the fuck was I talking about?
BDK starts by giving Brawler a bunch of speed and decreases that speed over time, and it accomplishes this by accelerating him against the direction he's going in. So when dropkick is B-reversed, it turns Brawler in the speed value around, but not the acceleration. So instead of slowing him down, it speeds him up.
I've seen some people misattribute this BDK explanation to other moves that get a similar distance boost when they're B-reversed, so I want to clarify that this momentum bug is, to my knowledge, a burning dropkick specific quirk. Any other side specials that get a sizable distance boost usually get it from counteracting a step back animation in the startup, instead of messing with speed values like BDK is.
This cloud sees me jump back, which is a sign I'm about to use BDK. In response, he jumps away, and I whiff.
This wasn't the example I wanted to use to demonstrate my point. More often than not, when people are worried about burning dropkick, they'll opt to dash back or shield, which I can then grab and kill them for using down throw thrust uppercut. I couldn't for the life of me find this happening in a tournament while I was making the video, but I did manage to create the situation to win a set at literally the very next tournament I went to. So that wasn't frustrating at all.
If you're a snake, you could be taking trades here. Down throw thropper! That's it!
Soaring axe kick is, at best, the second best choice for ledge trapping, the second best choice for defense, and wildly inconsistent for edge guarding. I don't know how, but I switched these 4 lower numbers around when I wanted it to look like this. My bad. If I see enough counter arguments in the comments, I'll consider making a follow-up video to address them. I'll just go ahead and acknowledge those points here. It seems the major thing I neglected to talk about was Soaring Axe Kick being used defensively from ledge, which is a quirk unique to it as an up special. Get off me axe kick spam when being pinned at ledge can be a decent strategy to get people to back off and create space for you to get on, especially when paired with suplex, since both of these moves basically give an ultimatum to anyone standing too close to ledge to get lost or get reversaled. I'm running out of breath. But given the bevy of other options Brawler has for getting off the ledge, as well as the fact that there are a wide array of characters that could just ledge trap from further away, I don't really put a whole lot of value on this tactic, especially when Sack leaves a gap for people to do this. It seems like I also missed some nuances with the absurd amount of hitboxes this thing has, which I don't really have the time nor the knowledge to get into, but the gist is that there are ways to use this move while ledge trapping and position yourself that can occasionally just nuke a fucker off the bottom of the stage. Also, if Brawler holds towards the opponent the entire time he uses Sack, there's a good chance it'll send in the opposite direction that he's facing, which can be useful as another reversal option. Clearly, I missed some stuff with Sack, but I still think it's the weakest up special that Brawler can pick. It's not like Axe Kick is unusable dog-ass, it's actually very good as a move, it's just competing with moves that serve Brawler much, much better. So if a sword fighter were running these moves, they would have this name. This is another visual error, I still have no idea how I fucked this up. These are the incorrect numbers, it should say this. I'm still so mad that I messed this part up, it is like the only thing that I was supposed to do for this entire section. And as for the 3 Mii limit, I have to imagine that part of the rule set was born out of a situation where someone just kept making Miis forever to ice out their opponent. Funny enough, there is a game mode where infinite Mii creation is at least a little justifiable, and that is Squad Strike.
We are all in our cars right now.
After posting this video, Yeast reached out to me and talked about how he would play a full Mii team in Squad Strike. A brawler, a sword fighter, and a gunner, just because it was funny. But since he didn't always know what loadout he wanted until he saw his opponent's team, he would make multiples of each type, which added up very, very, very quickly. Considering I pulled this rule from the rulebook of his region, that makes a lot of sense. It's still a necessary rule just for time's sake, but still funny that I used his Mii as the trickster god in this segment and this rule ended up being about him. It's not surprising that most people choose to either wait out the Gordo. I had some people tell me that I left this little frame of an explosion in. I meant to do that. It was funny to me. I left it in there on purpose. Vars. I missed a lot of various jank with Head-On Assault that I was told about almost immediately after releasing this video. So I'm gonna run through that stuff now. Using Head-On Assault on the ground gives it a scooping hitbox that's designed to combo opponents into the drill. The problem is that it really only has enough hit stun to do this if it happens to hit on the very first frame it's active. Connect with only the rising hitbox, and the opponent will have enough time to just air dodge out. If Head-On Assault is used out of a short hop and hits someone on a platform, its hitboxes will connect in such a way where the move will deal a pretty monstrous amount of damage. Useful if you, say, get a shield break that puts them up there, but ultimately too slow to do much of anything else. I don't know why, but unlike Bowser Bomb and Yoshi Bomb, Brawler can hold left or right during the rise to slightly alter his landing position, and I mean slightly. I cannot believe I didn't know this one. This is insane to me. If those offstage situations still feel devastating, look into running Burning Dropkick, which provides some extra recovery options. I had quite a few Brawler players tell me that BDK was not a good idea. Dropkick is prone to leaving Brawler in positions where moves like Sonic Fair can land pretty easily, and that's one of his best edge guarding attacks. At the same time, I sort of assume that all the Sonic players that I find on Elite are just going to try forward smashing the ledge, so I wouldn't be too worried about the layman Sonic player going for this. If you want an alternative suggestion, they recommend flashing Mach Punch, which can stall you if you use it in the air. Okay, that's probably not everything, but it is everything I want to talk about. I hope I was able to shed some light on some things that were potentially unclear in the videos I had posted thus far. It was kinda nice to go down memory lane and remember the headspace I was in for a lot of these videos. I mean, picking DDD made me physically sick for a month after releasing the video. Okay, maybe I should use a different word than nice. Being serious though, this has been a very good year for the channel and my life in general. And I do appreciate all the support I've gotten. Whether you're a channel member, Ko-Fi supporter, voted for this channel to win a goddamn award, or just tuning in whenever I manifest on your feed. I started this channel to prove that Smash videos can still succeed even 7 years into this game's lifespan, and I could not be happier to be right. I still have a lot more planned for the future, and it would mean the world to me if I could share it with you all for a living. Thanks again.